Jeffrey, why do you think it was so easy to get people to believe these strange ideas that Yahweh was perpetuating?
Well, all religions are essentially strange ideas. The only way they can survive and perpetuate is if they are imposed upon children from a very early age. That's what counteracts the strangeness of it all. It becomes familiar. It becomes traditional. People take comfort in that, and in their comfort, they don't see how outlandish it all is. And people love their children more than anything. So when you put the carrot of heaven in front of them with the whip of hell behind them, they pass the idea onto their children with the best of intentions, and the idea is successfully perpetuated. And to an insider, it all seems so right. And when absurdities are normalized in society, it can even affect full-grown adults.
Is that why people became so uncomfortable and even offended when those ideas were challenged?
Yeah, that had a lot to do with it, protecting their conditioning, as well as the desire to gain and maintain power.
How so?
Well, look at the laws Yahweh came up with. The very first one was, don't have any other gods before me. Because I may be perfect, but I'm also pretty jealous. No, I'm serious. The next law was, don't make any graven images. Then don't take my name in vain. And then set aside a day in the week to worship me.
Those can't be real.
They certainly were.
And people fell for it?
Of course. Like I said, it was drilled into them since childhood. And it seems perfectly normal to them. The very rules themselves were designed to stifle dissent so that the religion could perpetuate with minimal resistance.
How did anyone manage to find their way out of that mess?
Well, there came a point when the people valued freedom over blind subservience to authority for authority's sake. For instance, there was a country in Yahweh's simulation called the United States of America. And when it was founded, they drafted a document limiting governmental powers in a way that directly opposed Yahweh's rules.
That must not have gone over too well with Yahweh.
No, it did not.
How did the United States what was it again?
America.
How did they break Yahweh's rules?
Well, Yahweh made the death sentence his punishment for breaking his first few rules. America's Bill of Rights, however, limited the government from being able to put people to death for having other gods, or taking Yahweh's name in vain, or making graven images, or working on a day of worship. The United States ensured people's free speech and freedom of religion, which was in direct opposition to Yahweh's most important commandments.
Why didn't Yahweh just destroy the United States?
Because it was successful. The founding fathers of America actually implemented better ideas than Yahweh himself, which obviously shouldn't be the case if you're an omniscient God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Yahweh did what Yahweh does best, and he took credit for what they did.
And in taking credit for those ideas, he could take credit for America's success.
Exactly.
How did the people of the United States deal with the discrepancy between Yahweh's commandments and their own laws?
Well, the interesting thing was that they didn't. They just kept teaching their children that American ideals were Yahweh's ideals, when they clearly weren't. They kept repeating the mantra that America is a Christian nation, when it was actually only Christian by majority.
Doesn't that make it a Christian nation?
Not as an institution. Their constitution was designed to protect the minority from the majority. They rejected pure democracy in favor of a constitutional republic, which was smart, otherwise there'd be mob rule.
So whatever happened to the United States?
Well, it wasn't good.
They must have lasted for a while at least, right? I mean, it sounds like they had a pretty good system for such a primitive society.
Well, it was for a while, but their political system was too vulnerable to corruption.
I see. Did Yahweh have something to do with that?
Indirectly, yes. Religion was a political tool of manipulation.
Were they ever able to get rid of religion?
Yes. At first, religion was used to oppress people. Later, it was used for terrorism, too. Terrorism was, in turn, used to affect politics. With prosperity, though, religion drastically declined, because religion gives people hope. When there's no need for hope, there's no need for religion.
It sounds like they were headed in the right direction then.
Well, you'd think so, but the problem isn't religion alone. The problem is dogmatic thought, which naturally goes hand in hand with religion, but you don't have to be religious to be a dogmatic thinker.
I see. What were they dogmatic about?
Everything you can imagine. Sports, politics, entertainment, art, culture, models of societal interaction, you name it. The problem with religion was that the people were dogmatic about ideas regarding life and death. Through those ideas, normally good people could justify atrocities. But in a post-religious society, drastic ideas about how people should behave and how people should live their lives don't necessarily disappear. People still felt so strongly about certain ideas that they thought it too justified taking lives. And that led to strife. Strife led to misery. And like a vicious cycle, misery led right back to religion. Because the people needed hope again.
So, even after all that progress, they eventually fell back into religion.
Yes. They simply traded one type of dogma for another, which led back to where they started. What they really needed to do was stop thinking dogmatically.
But they didn't?
No.
And that led to the circumstances surrounding your escape?
Well, I don't.
Jeffrey, would you mind discussing your escape from Yahweh's universe?
No, I mean, yes, I would mind. I'm sorry. It's just that I was told you wouldn't ask me about that.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey, but it's an important topic. Escaping from a simulated universe has never been done before. And we, as a society, need to understand.
You think that I want to relive that in front of all these people?
Jeffrey.
No, please. I just don't want to discuss this anymore.
Jeffrey.